My friends, this is our 18th day for meditation, and today we would like to review all of Anna Panna, that means breathing skill. The first one is the counting. So, but if you are very good with concentration, you should just skip the counting and then move to, observing. Sorry, I don't know what does it mean here. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so maybe, excuse me. I think that there was something here. Okay. Sorry, I know it's kind of annoying. I apologize. Okay. Because I do not use the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is not stable here, and so I use the roaming, and it just a few things comes up quite disturbing, and I apologize. But anyway, let's continue. Okay, so if you do following the breathing, and when you following breathing, the first one you should know about, the air comes in and goes out, and also the length of your breath, and also kind of visualize and also feel that the air already full of your whole body. But if you are really concentrated, you will feel that, you kind of your world is not the outside world, okay? So I don't know whether when you do the meditation, after these few have that experience. And secondly, then we should mention this is the second following the first one is counting, the second one is following in your breathing. And I did mention about the third is the abdomen, but we leave that next week, because that's a kind of another one for the meditation. But some people maybe feel more effective abdomen, the meditation. And the first skill is when you inhale, breathing in, and before you exhale, breathing out, there is a moment of not breathing, very, very subtle. So we'd like you to practice, bring all your concentration and try to be aware about that moment. And this way also help you to very, very focus and then enter into dhyana. Into dhyana. I know it's not easy, but we just need to practice. Okay, need to practice. So today we go, and then I already told you the technique, and you just have to practice and practice. And remember, today just let's focus on breathing only, and you need to be skillful on either following the breathing and then or try to aware, be mindful about the temporary stop, before you exhale. Okay? So let's do that. The first one, body, breath, mind. So body, left Vairochana. So your feet sit closed, don't hanging on the floor. And then back always upright. And then clockwise, counterclockwise. And then make sure you sit stable and sit upright, but relax your muscle and the hands slightly touch the thumbs. And shoulder open up, put it down. And the teeth slightly touched. Chin, put it in, not up and down. Pull in. And the tongue slightly touched behind the upper teeth. And eye closed. Now, the body posture is ready. Make sure the body posture in principle is upright, not leaning on, right or left or, front or back. Upright, but relax. Make sure that check on your posture, there was no area tense. Okay, need to be relaxed. That is the principle, upright and relaxed. Now, let's come to breathing. Breathing out. If you have a difficulty for breathing, you should do at least 10 times counting the breathing in, breathing out in 10 times. So make sure that you focus on your nostrils. Your attention, focus. Now follow your breath. Raise the awareness. Know the air is cold, hard. Knowing the breath, the air coming and comes out. Knowing the breath full over your body. Once when you become very concentrated, started with your technique 4. Aware, be mindful of the inhale before the exhale. That very, very short moment there was a break, no breathing at all. The purpose for安那般那 is to reach the samatha, the dhyana. Let's do the metta meditation. Let's send in our loving kindness, prayer, and the thought to ourselves and also to the people we know and unknown to us. Extend to all the people in this world and all the sentient beings in this universe. May I be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May my spouse, partners, and children free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May my parents and brothers and sisters be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May my teachers and the students be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all my friends and neighbors free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people in the country free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people in this world free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the sentient in this universe free from hatred and ignorance and be well and happy. May all the doctors and nurses, medical personnel, and then who work in the front line be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, from suffering, well and healthy. We'd like to pay respect and special thanks to all these people for their risk their life and tirelessly to save people's life. May all the political leaders free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from greed, hatred, and ignorance, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. We're hoping that these political leaders can take wise measures to save people's life, create a peaceful world. may the people who got effect of coronavirus can get a speedy recovery, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people die of infection of coronavirus raise in peace and be reborn in a happy, better realm. And we send the loving kindness prayer and condolences to the family, their loved one died of coronavirus or other disease. Now it's the time for you to pay the special prayer to the people you particularly like to pray for them. Now let's rub in our hands, cover our eyes, massage your forehead, your head, your ear, shoulder, arm, back, your thigh, knee, and your feet. Now you open your eyes. Well, before I go into today's Dharma words, I like to apologize for all these, the IT tech, the technical problem. It, interrupt or a lot. As I mentioned, I am so far right now only one here, and so I have to operate this live stream by myself. So I have to stand it up, and I know that is not but perfect. But I think right now it's the good time to practice unshakable, unmovable. Okay, feel frustrated by imperfection. So just take it as a normal thing and not be affected by all this imperfection. So just be patient. Okay, now let's move to today. We talk about 25 to have a good meditation and for a practice to enter into dhyana. These are indicated in the Tiantai meditation manual. And we have covered the past 3, and today we would like to mainly focus on the first condition, and it says try to be aware of worldly engagement. So if you want to have a good meditation, the first one, you need to cut it down or completely to get rid of kind of a too much family engagement or like a worldly engagement. What does it mean? Especially if you go to the intensive meditation for 7 days or 10 days, you have to make a good arrangement, like the company's business. You have to tell people that you are going away, how when they can contact you, it's better not to contact you unless there was any kind of emergency or family. So give yourself really block a time that no the other thought, unless it's essential. Okay, so this is the way before you even for just an hour's meditation, you should try to cut it down. Frankly, I already turned off, even Line and social media. I don't know why it still came in. They must have some, technical problem with the cell phone. But anyway, so, even for you, just for 15 minutes meditation, you should block this time and concentrate for meditation. So the kind of disengaged socially affairs, it's the way to have a good meditation that's indicated in this meditation manual. And I somehow like to kind of extend what do we mean by secular and world affair. Indeed, even though we live in this world, but if your mind can really concentrate on a more essential and meaningful life, that will be considered also that's secular. But if you're living in the mountain, but also still watching a lot of the video and your mind always thinking about entertainment and socially engagement, that is not really completely, you kind of separated from worldly affair. And frankly, I like to share with you what I feel like our modern life. I mentioned that the people always call me I'm high-tech now. Yes, I love this high-tech stuff. I use a cell phone. In the I think 30 years ago, I already used fax machine. Not smartphone, already cell phone. So that was why people high-tech now. But I told you, I'm not that really high-tech. I'm a lot of time it's dominant. But right now we have so many social media. If you are in China, you use WeChat. If you are in Taiwan, you use Line. And now I come back suddenly. I left mainland China and come back to United States or in Taiwan. I don't have to use a VPN, and suddenly I realize my. Well, be patient. Okay, so let me continue my confession. As I mentioned that being a nun, I always, reading the sutra or more like working on philosophical or reading some classic, the text on the Chinese philosophy. So always, in the morning you get up and reading something kind of more philosophical, Buddhist sutra. But unfortunately, right now, we also I myself also, take up the habit and to reading the WeChat or Line. Frankly, it's kind of a waste my very precious time and need to change. And also from social media, the knowledge, the data we got, information we got is so fragmentally. it's a fragment, and not really. Right now, we cannot even stand a long article or the long argument. So right now, what we have to get, it's always very piece by piece. That's kind of what we need to have that kind of awareness about what kind of information we receive. And not only that, the problem is we have so many so-called fake news, fake information. So that is why now also lead us to have a more descend, attitude toward the information we receive. So this is what I, think that we need to have that awareness. And now I'd like to share with you about in our life, so-called worldly, affair, or we kind of world. It's not that much about where your body is. It's about your engagement or how much in your mind. I always just tell people that a lot of time we mention cut off the food. Not only the junk food, we also have a lot of junk stuff. I always tell people that if you have something in your closet or in your storage room for 30 years, or at least, or even 5 years, like old computer, old clothes, I say people, if you never use it for 5 years, you probably will never use it anymore. So this is all kind of junk stuff. Every time, I would like to suggest you, the first one, if you want to go to supermarket, always make sure that you eat something first. Don't go to supermarket with empty stomach. This is the way when I tell myself, if I go to supermarket, eat something. Because when you have the empty stomach, you always buy more than what you need and even what you want, okay? And secondly, if you want to do some shopping, look at your closet, look at your storage, and then think about it and what kind of things you want to buy. And it's better to do some shopping list. And now, of course, we also have lots of junk mail, junk correspondence. A lot of the information is not, and frankly right now, a lot of junk advertisement. Frankly, right now, if we're reading a newspaper and there are lots of advertisement, or you type in on the computer and there was pop up lots of advertisement. And being a nun, I always wondering, how come right now the people will not get crazy? Of course you get crazy because the thing you read, the information appear in front of you is so complicated. Watch a TV, the screen, pop out so many informations. Like in the bottom there was one message, and at the left side, right side, the photos. I think the modern people is going to drive them crazy by themselves, by the way we provide all this information. So this junk information and junk mail, junk advertisement as well. And we need to cut it down and don't waste precious time. And I also mentioned that, many people also have a junk relationship? You think about it, what kind of people need to be with you, being your friends, and also, of course, I always love to watch kind of detective story, or sometimes I watch, forensic file, and I find that there are many cases. People got murdered, especially girl got murdered by the boyfriend, and from the beginning, you know that the personality or the people with violence. I just don't know why you get involved with the people with the violence. That is not very wise. Our people got very kind of let their desire last, kind of expand. So they are not loyal to their partner or their spouse. So maybe the result were to invite, sometimes harm yourself, harm others. So this is you need to examine your friendship and your relationship, whether it's a junk. So I said, okay, junk, cut down the junk relationship. Because what does it mean about junk? That means that you don't need it. And now let's also check, I refer to junk emotion. We got angry, we got, stress, we got, kind of attached, stalking people, and kind of cling it, don't let it go, torture yourself, won't let it go. For emotion and violence. So these are all the junk emotion. And people curse. So cut down all these junk the emotion. Of course, junk emotion come out from Buddhism, talk about 3 poisons root. Greed, lust, desire, attachment, and then also hatred, anger, aversion, and dislike, and hate, and all come from the ignorance, because it's not wise, and basically just let your mind kind of let those ignorance take away, our minds away. So these are the junk emotion, and we have a junk thought in our mind. And if you really look at it, every day, 24 hours, we put into our mind. Okay, the body needs food. The mind also needs food. And thinking about what kind of food you consume, just like your body take what kind of food. A lot of junk food for thought. The kids play the video game, a lot of violence, and hostel or horror, and sometimes very, like a murder or, hurting people. These are all the junk food for the thought. So that is something we need to get rid of, the junk thought. And we need to be always, right now, talking about, Okay, I like to have organic food and for the, to be healthy. How many times that we examine what kind of food we feed for our thought and for especially for our spirits as well. Okay, so today I'm sharing with you about when we talk about worldly affair or secular world, like six patriarchs. It's not something like it's referred to body is. It's more like the way your perception, your perspective, how you look at this world. Even though you are hiding in the mountain or you are hiding in a big mansion in somewhere by yourself, but if you look at all these kind of moral, brutal, violent, video, you are still in very worldly, very secular world. So let's examine that how many junk food, how many junk stuff we have, junk mail, junk social media, and junk relationship, friendship, and junk emotion, and also junk thought. And always check, just like we go to physical checking for the health. So we are not just would like to have a healthy body, but we also like to have a healthy mind. And yesterday, recently, we are always talk about to have a vaccine for the coronavirus. But I'm thinking about after this the wave of a pandemic, I'm really concerned about that people's job, financial situation, the relationship, family. It's going to, cause the anxiety, desperation, and could lead into depression or even, suicidal tendency. So, I was thinking about, hey, maybe a religious leader and a spiritual leader and psychiatry now need to be aware. We probably have to think about how to prevent, all these things will happen to more people. And people, some people, respond on my Facebook, but I think that we should not depend on the drug. And you need to be used more like the immune system. We have a body immune system, but we also have a mental, spiritual immune system. So we have to boost, this kind of deactivate these, mental or spiritual immune system. Okay, today let's end up here, and again, I apologize the disconnection, but we probably have to endure for a while because I'm here by myself, and also there was no Wi-Fi, so it's a good practice. Be patient. Okay, good night. I see you tomorrow again at 8 o'clock.